hit by his teammate Travis Kelce. He would not return to the 3 dudes to Juju Smith-Schuster. Look at that. Only Mahomes would do that. And you'd only want him doing it. So that keeps the drive alive. And then here, what a play. The little deke out to the flat instead. It hits Kelce for the 37-yard touchdown. They would go for 2, not get it, so it's 20-13. And over the Chiefs, 27-21. Well, Jim Harbaugh, a perfect 6-0 in season openers in his career. That ties Mike Shanahan for the second longest streak by a head coach in NFL history and trails only George Allen, who won 11 straight openers back in the 1960s and 70s.
Okay, so that's interesting as we say hello to Damien Woody, because they're 6-0 in season openers, but the Chargers had lost 7 in a row to the Chiefs. Justin Herbert in this game, 3 touchdown passes, 318 yards, 0 picks. What impressed you the most about the way he played?
Well, he was, Nicole, he was so confident in the pocket. Like, the thing that stood out to me is the Chiefs couldn't get any pressure on Justin Herbert, and the way he was able to dissect what the Chiefs were trying to do defensively against them. Didn't matter if they rushed forward, if they brought the house. He had an answer for it all. And it just seemed like, for me, the Chargers, they let the Ferrari loose in Justin Herbert, and he put on a masterful display against that very good Chiefs defense.
Okay, like what kind of Ferrari? Are we talking like old school Ferrari? Are we talking like a Formula One Ferrari? What kind of Ferrari? I need to know the details.
No, we talking. I know you're a car lady. We're talking Formula One Ferrari.
Okay.
We're on that level.
Okay, all right. We'll make sure it's the right Formula One Ferrari, but we'll have that discussion later. Look, for the Chiefs, because sometimes their strategy can get you into trouble.
Good point.
Anyway, the Chiefs, they lost this game, but they also lost Xavier Worthy early on. The impact of his absence for that offense was what?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the lack of explosive plays. I mean, we saw a couple of them. Tyquan Thornton had a big explosive, and Travis Kelce. But, when you take away Xavier Worthy, he's not available to you. That's the speed element that you can't teach that scares the opposing defense. And with him being out early, you saw this Chiefs offense kind of revert back to what we saw in 2024, more methodical, dink and dunk, those type of things. So I know the Chiefs want to get back to a more explosive element, and that's what not having Xavier Worthy meant to that Chiefs offense.
Okay, fine. It wasn't clicking on all cylinders. However, there was that Mahomes magic moment, like in the fourth quarter. Again, just that completion over what, three defenders. It makes no sense. How did he do it? Maybe why? Also, I don't know.
I mean, it's just Mahomes magic. Like, there's only I don't know if anyone else can really do these type of things. Maybe Lamar, maybe Josh, but we've seen this type of stuff from Patrick Mahomes throughout his career, and we just saw another spectacular one tonight.
It doesn't make any sense. But
he threw the ball sideways. It wasn't a spiral. He threw it sideways.
He threw it like I would throw it, let's be honest. Look, it doesn't get any easier for the Chiefs. They go up against the defending Super Bowl. Why are you laughing? You're not supposed to be laughing at that. The Eagles next week in Kansas City. Don't go too far because we've got more from you later.
Yeah, much more on what we saw down in Sao Paulo. Justin Herbert and the Chargers getting that Week 1 win against their...
Injury report season is in full swing. Eves, fully healthy. Micah Parsons, though, questionable for the Packers. He's been limited, and according to head coach Matt LaFleur, he's also looked limited in practice all week with a back injury. The talk is that he will require an injection if he's going to play against the Lions. Clearly TBD, and somewhere David Lloyd is still cackling.
Questionable. That's the official designation for Christian McCaffrey ahead of the Niners season opener against Seattle. A calf issue that popped up during Thursday's workout prevented McCaffrey from practicing Friday. Now, he played just 4 games last year due to tendonitis and then a torn ligament in his right knee. But he says he fully expects to be in uniform Sunday.
Nothing serious, I'll tell you that. I feel great about where I'm at. Just unfortunately, when you have an injury history that I have, sometimes when you don't practice, things get blown out of proportion. But like I said, I feel great. I'm not supposed to go into anything that happened, but as I felt like it was a smart thing to do to finish the practice because I've been there before and I've been my own worst enemy in situations like that, and I'm just proud of myself for not doing that again. And, you know, like I said, I went through a whole training camp, feel great right where I'm at.
Also with boo-boos, Christian Gonzalez is going to miss the Patriots opener with a hamstring injury. Darren Waller, Christian Kirk have also already been ruled out. There's good news, though, for the Giants. Malik Neighbors is off the injury report and good to go for Week 1 against the Commanders.
All right, as promised, Damien Woody back here with us on SportsCenter. And even though this is not necessarily good news for Nicole's fantasy team, McCaffrey
this is tragic.
is listed as questionable. If he's not able to go, Damien, what kind of issues would that present in Week 1 for this offense there in San Francisco?
Yeah, listen, Michael, it'll be a huge blow because we know just how much Christian McCaffrey means to Brock Purdy in that offense. He, you know, his versatility, not only running the football, but, you know, his ability to catch the ball, whether you're lining him up as a wide receiver, catching the ball out of the backfield. He's such a security blanket for Brock Purdy. And listen, this 49ers team is going up against, in my opinion, a very good defensive team in the Seattle Seahawks. They're very multiple. They have athletes all over the field. And so if you don't have Christian McCaffrey, boy, that's going to be tough sledding playing up in Seattle this week.
And look, we saw all last season how difficult it was for San Francisco when they didn't have Christian McCaffrey out there on the field. You mentioned it is Week 1, and we're all excited about it because there's this team, there's this matchup that everyone's excited to see. But who's the one player, Damon, that you're going to be checking out the most coming up this week?
Yeah, Michael, how about a rookie? How about Cam Ward? Probably the most unheralded number 1 pick that we've seen in quite some time. A lot of people haven't been speaking a lot about Cam Ward, but I just love his mental makeup. I think he's going to be he's going to be exactly what the Tennessee Titans need at the quarterback position, a leader, and they're going up against the Denver Broncos up in Mile High. And let me tell you, the Denver Broncos are one of these teams in the AFC that people are going to be talking about. Second year with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. So that's going to be a really, really good test right out of the gate for Cam Ward against that Denver Broncos defense.
You know, Damien, that's a good point. I think this has been the least talked about number 1 pick that we've had in the NFL and draft quite some time, especially the fact that he's a quarterback. We've been talking about every other rookie quarterback except for Cam Ward. We'll see what happens with him coming up